God. 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 Alright, this is female gooners must be stopped by Shoe and Head. Alright, let's see what this is about.
Oh.
I'm sorry. Before we start, what? I feel like the biggest fucking idiot for stopping 2 seconds in, first and foremost, but why does that turning page sound like a can opening? You hear that? That sounded like a can being opened. Oh, hi there.
I didn't see you there. What am I reading, you ask? Well, just one of the best-selling books on Amazon right now. With millions of sales and almost 20,000 5-star reviews, this book has been absolutely blowing up, especially on TikTok, or Book Talk, as the kids call it. Thousands of women, in particular, have been raving about this piece of literature. What piece of literature is it, you may ask? Well, Morning Glory Milking Farm, of course. A popular romance novel about a young woman down on her luck who does what every young woman does when facing financial struggle. She starts an OnlyFans. No, I'm just kidding.
No, she just makes milking.
She gets a job jerking off monsters.
You mean like a can pull tap? Hold on. I'll be back in a second. No. I mean something like... Hold on. That. Had a leftover energy drink.
That's right, the Morning Glory Milking Farm.
I have been reading Morning Glory Milking Farm since last night, and I'm obsessed.
This was a good time. It did not disappoint.
If this book is trash, then I am a f***ing raccoon. Give me all of the garbage.
Get your eyeballs on this, because it is so good.
What a pull tap is. I am ESL, please! I will throw a banana at you, damn monkey!
I regret to inform you that there is a new epidemic. An epidemic that many have yet to discuss. And that epidemic is female gooners. Now, for those of you unaware, gooner is internet slang for someone addicted to porn. And smut is slang for dark romance novels, otherwise known as porn. Many correct about the dangers of porn addiction with men, how it can destroy their lives and their relationships, and most men know the material they consume is weird. That is why they are ashamed of it. That is why they delete their browser history. That is why they go incognito mode. But these bitches freaks out here. They display their smut openly in bookstores. They proudly pose in front of their smut collections. They discuss their smut openly on TikTok. They go to smut conventions and get choked out by 9-foot-tall shirtless Wendigos. Now, I know what you are thinking.
I read like someone who's ESL even though English is the first language.
Degenerate. Yes.
Yes, it is degenerate.
But have you considered it takes one to truly know one? You see, women are strange, fascinating creatures. For centuries, men have tried to figure us out. Our mood is affected by the tides in the moon.
Centuries? What an understatement! Isn't it millennia at this point? Wait, these bitches don't hide this shit? No! English is my 4th language. It's my... Wait. No. It is also my 4th language. But I failed learning my 3rd language, so technically it's my 3rd language. Huh. Anyway.
Bleed for 5 days and don't die. By painting my face, I can instantly shapeshift from a 4 to a 6. We are truly mysterious, magical creatures. But one of the most mysterious aspects of women to men is our sexuality. You see, us women are not like those disgusting moids. No, we are sophisticated. We are evolved. We don't watch videos of strangers slapping their sweaty bodies together.
Oh, I don't do that either. I just read doujins.
Oh no, we read about strangers slapping their sweaty bodies together.
What aren't even
it's
real,
different,
dog.
Okay? You don't understand. It's okay.
Yeah, this is just an AI image, you know. This is a moving AI image. This is all AI with a man behind it with a voice mod, you know, like the early VTubers.
When we do it. So let's talk about
it's
it. Let's talk about the
propaganda.
rapidly growing popularity of dark romance on TikTok and the recent dark romance.
Man, it's been a while since I had an energy drink. Just for the sake of having an energy drink. Thank you very much, monkey. I'll keep calling you that from now on.
Convention that ended in disaster. Let's take a break from all this depressing political news.
I feel a
and
little
talk
bit
about
like
something
Frieza
silly.
every time I do.
Not that those political things aren't important. Trust me, they are. You should be keeping up with politics and the news when you can. I know it can be difficult to do, but fear not. I have an app for that. So before we get into this video, let's quickly give a shout out to our sponsor, Ground News. Ground News is a website and an app that gives readers an easy...
Hold on. At least write mommy right. No, wait, hold on. Did you write it correct? I thought it's with an E. 6-letter word, wasn't it?
Way to read news.
Alright, Mr. Man of the World, fucking gloating about being multilingual. Meanwhile, I write occasionally like an illiterate epileptic. Bro, I never said I could do him well. I can speak him, right? But I can't... Right
from all across the political spectrum, from left, right, and center.
Look, I can speak German. Hallo, wie geht es Ihnen? I can speak a little bit of Bosnish. Ciao, kakasi. That's the same thing again. I said twice in 2 different languages. How are you? Yeah, you egotistical testicle. Why did I read that out loud?
Every story comes with a quick visual breakdown of political bias that helps you understand the full story and makes sure you're getting both sides. One of my favorite features on Ground News is the blind spot feature, which shows you news stories that have been covered by one side of the political aisle and ignored by the other. For example, here's a story about how Gavin Newsom is signing a bill to give 800,000 Uber and Lyft drivers in California the right to unionize. Pretty cool. Rare Newsom W. 12 news sources covered this, 7 were left-wing and 0 were right-wing, because the right is covering a far more important topic. Harvard hires...
Who's the monkey now, mummy? Obviously you. Look at yourself. You have a banana tag and a monkey picture. Oh, excuse me. What is this called in English? In German, it's called orangutan. Grown-News is actually pretty damn good. I agree.
Drag performer Lahore Vagistan as a visiting professor. 21 news sources covered this. 20 were right-wing. 1 was left-wing. A country divided, truly. Ground News also makes it very easy to compare headlines.
That was
so
monkey racism. No? I'm sorry. You're the one guy with the banana tag with an orangutan in German. That's literally what the species is called. It looks like a chimpanzee. No, it has like the orange hair in the background. Yeah, orangutan. The orange ape chimpanzee thing, chimp. Orange big chimp. That is technically stronger than the gorilla, but the gorilla is more famous.
This completely reframes a story. For example, talking about how Trump has been posting a bunch of those sombrero memes, and the New York Post says, White House official behind Trump's hilarious meme war on Dems revealed. And then a left-wing outlet covers the same story, like, as the shutdown continues, a checked-out Trump posts childish memes. Wildly different vibes going on here. I have been using Ground News since 2021. It is one of my favorite apps. Like, it is my go-to, like, when I wake up. I, like, check Twitter, and then I check Ground News, like, immediately. But don't just take my word for it. Even the Nobel Peace Center called it an excellent way to stay informed, avoid echo chambers, and expand your worldview. Best of all, I am currently offering 40%
I'm ignoring how retarded I am, by the way.
off their Vantage plan, which is the plan I use to access all their amazing features. And it's only $5 a month, which is like basically the price of a coffee nowadays. So go to ground.news/shoe or use the QR code here on screen or use the link in the video description. So thank you to Ground News for sponsoring this video, and thank you, the viewer, for not skipping the ad.
Precious Sandlin.
Right. So
didn't skip the ad! No, hold off! Hold off! Don't! You threatening woman!
Let's get back.
I'm afraid of women as it is, please!
To the video. Book Talk is a very interesting place, and any book fans out there know how it has absolutely destroyed the hobby of literature and just flooded it with absolute slop.
Oh.
Spicy slop. You see, books on TikTok are not rated by
how
well they are written or how good the characters are. No, they are rated by the spice. And what does spice mean? Porn.
Yeah.
It means porn. Spice level is very important to book talkers. How much spice does a book have? What are the spiciest books they have ever read? How spicy is the book they're currently reading? Spice, spice, spice. And the spiciest book going viral on Book Talk lately is none other than Morning Glory Milking Farm by C.M. Nascosta. Violet is a typical down-on-her-luck millennial, mid-20s, overeducated, and drowning in debt.
Hello! Thank you very much for the frickin' sub on the Twitch, Bucky the Monkey. Damn! Hello! Thank you very much for the tier 1 sub. God damn, that hit me out of nowhere! Now I can legally fling shit at you! Alright, hold on, I'll write that down. Hold on. Where's my notes? There. Notepad. How to... Background should to have in... There... Emotes... To do redeems shit fling or stuff. I don't know if we can legally fling shit at me on stream.
She's stuff like me! On the verge of moving into her parents' basement, when a lifeline appears in the form of a very unconventional job in the neighboring Cambric Creek, she has no choice but to grab it with both hands. Morning Glory Farm.
I'm sorry, but if you're gonna... Wait, I'm a founder? What do you mean, a founder? I'm like George Washington, for real. Hold on. If we theoretically have a Minotaur milking operation, why the fuck? No, that just means you're a... Oh no, you're... I had subs before, but you're currently the first one because no one prolonged it, right? There was a some gifted and stuff, but yeah. You were still one of the first, true. Top 5. But hold on, again, if we have this theoretical Minotaur milking station, why the fuck would we do it by hand? Like real talk, what the fuck?
Farm offers full-time hours, full benefits, and generous pay with no experience needed. There's only one catch. The clientele is grade A certified prime beef. Oh god, with the manly meaty endowments to... Okay.
What the fuck?
Glory Milking Farm is actually a profound critique of late-stage capitalism and toxic masculinity. In this text, we see that the tingling sensation in her coochie is actually...
With user... Monkey!
...the tingling sensation of the Marxist revolution.
What the fuck? Well, how do they bring politics into every single crevice? Holy shit, retards.
This is every fucking BreadTube video to me, dude. This is every Jack Saint video. So I actually read the book myself, and I'm not gonna lie. The 19th Amendment needs to be abolished. So, like I said, the story is basically this millennial named Violet, and she gets a job basically working at Big Pharma in Narnia, where they harvest Minotaur milk to make Viagra for human males.
That is just retarded as shit.
Thing. Probably gonna be put on some kind of watch list. But listen, this is my job, okay? I'm not out here like selling feet pics or something. What I do is far more dignified and normal. Now let's take a look at some of these notes I wrote. Let's see. Big dick and balls. At one point she says the term, and I quote.
Very, very eloquent, by the way. Book reviewer would be like, yeah, so 5 Little Monkey Jumping on the Bed is about abortions and how pigeons are robots. Well, you see, how many monkeys? 5 little monkeys, each represent a group of people. Well, the first monkey jumping on the bed is at the top of the bed, where the pillow is. The pillow, obviously the best part of the bed, represents the top 1% of the population. You know, kind of like that, huh?
The seam of his sack. So I'm reading this, and the whole time I'm thinking, like, okay, he probably has, like, a human head, right? He probably, like, looks something like this, like, you know, just a dude with, like, horns. Then I see the official artwork. That's a cow.
That's
Bro
a
is a cow.
full-blown
Bro
cow.
Is a
What the
straight
fuck?
Up cow.
Welcome to Smut Hell.
And it will be like, his hooves clip-clopped. My hooves will tear up your sheets. And it's like, I'm sorry, his what? At one point, she describes kissing him. And I swear to God, it was more disgusting than anything else described in this book. She's like describing how big and wide his mouth is and how big and like slimy his tongue is. She's like describing the shit and you're just like,
you're kissing an animal! My monkey hands will rip off your face! Truest thing you've said so far, monkey!
That's a cow. I mean, we are at a solid 5.5 on the Barbeau
non-humanoid
scale
creature.
Here. This is dangerous territory, folks. She also
This guy, hold on. What are these? There. Okay, human. These characters are humans without any extra supernatural abilities or gifts. Human pro. These characters usually look like humans but have non-human gifts or abilities. Shifter. These characters have a human form and a non-human form. Many also have non-human abilities, even in human form. What the fuck? Shut up about fucking cryptid smut. Smut about a fucking cryptid. Yeah, indeed. Humanoid creature. These creatures are not human and do not look like humans, but have mainly humanoid features. Do it. Grant us the sweet release of death. Non-humanoid creature. These characters are not human, do not look like human, and have few humanoid features. So basically just bipedal-eyed. What the fuck is that? Cthulhu! These characters are not human, do not look like human, and no humanoid features.
a solid 5.5 on the Barbeau scale here.
Oh,
this is dangerous territory, folks. She also f***ers his ass.
Why? 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 How? Isn't the Minotaur really fucking wide? How? Does she have long fucking arms? Oh god, why am I imagining things?
The cow's ass. By the way, if you want an uncensored version of this video and all my videos, Patreon. Go to Patreon, become a member.
I'm good. No, it's okay.
Every video.
No,
so
it's
you
fine.
Can hear me talking about
no, it's fine.
Is that what you
Please
freaks
kill
want?
me,
Anyway,
please
I like
kill
how
me.
in this
Why
fantasy world,
did
student
just
loans
hear
still
that?
exist. Like, we can imagine a world with
God help us all.
and humans in a relationship.
Kill them all and let God sort them out.
But we can't imagine a world without student loans.
Damn
Sad.
it.
Oh, and he has one of those bull rings, like the nose ring theory septum rings. And in this
God.
world, that means, like, you're married, but apparently he's...
Oh, so fucking cheating and all that bullshit. I wish to drown my neurons in ethanol.
divorced. The man is divorced. This is a divorced cow with a cow ex-wife. The lore is deep, folks. The funniest part, though, has to be when they go on a date. I need to just read this to you. When the bill arrived, she attempted to pull a handful of carefully folded bills from her wristlet before he stopped her. No, that's absolutely not happening. Put that away. She'd not thought about it until the day after their first dinner together, realizing that in more—
So... I'm sorry, but even in their smut, they still want a man to take care of them. And be and have a, you know, chivalrous man. Even if this thing is a cow. Okay, how stereotypical. Indeed. It... Every fucking time.
That she ought to have attempted to pay her half. What kind of feminist are you? She asked herself. She couldn't remember the last time she'd been out and hadn't paid for her half, including her coffee date with Carson Tinsley. She had come prepared that night, several weeks of her tips smoothed and tucked into her wristlet. But I didn't even offer to pay half the other night and shouldn't have violence if the commanding rumble of his voice hadn't silenced her. The heat of his hand dropping to her knee would've. I don't want you to feel that you don't have any agency here. I might be the one giving all the orders, but you hold all the cards. Your comfort is the only thing that counts right now. And if I overstep, I want you to know you can tell me so. But that's not happening.
I want that Minotaur to jam his horn in my eye socket and give me a lobotomy after watching this shit. Fuck, man. So you would let him ram it into you?
In our careers. You can say no, you can say you don't want to see me again. You can tell me to stop coming to the farm when you're working. It's dinner, not a down payment of your time. But I'm in a position to comfortably spoil someone. So when you're with me, I'm spoiling you. End of story. She was a good feminist, she told herself, and she definitely couldn't be bought. But if he had suggested at that moment that he would have appreciated a blowjob, she would have fallen face first on his cock with an open.
Am I gonna get banned for this? Because this is technically reading fanfics and shit, and you know. Use an ice pick and a hammer instead. Far easier and less lethal. Kill me.
Shred of hesitation. Inside every woman, there are two wolves. Or two bulls. The strong, independent girl boss and the submissive, doting housewife. And in the presence of a masculine man, or a farm animal, she will fold like a lawn chair and instantly return to factory settings.
It's dinner, not a down payment for your time. But I'm in a position to comfortably spoil someone, so when you're with me, I'm spoiling you. End of story. I said, okay, I highlighted that paragraph for myself.
Clean up aisle 5. So that's what—
Oh, stop! I didn't think of that. Why? But how much you want to bet that that woman that just read it out loud is a fucking feminist?
I thought of it. But what did other people think of it? What are the reviews on this book? This book has a 4.1 on Amazon.
I'll take one to the brainstem for a quick end. For this making me lose my appetite. I hope you do get banned.
with 21,000 ratings and a 3.6 on Goodreads with nearly 60,000 ratings. Let's just read some random ones here. Hear me out. Hear me out. A milking good time. Sweet and creamy. The spice is spicing. I was very leery of starting this because I thought it was just gonna be porn. The plot is pretty good. The plot?
The plot referring to the sex scene.
For the articles, like,
oh my
sure you
God.
do. This book could kill a Victorian child.
I'm gonna
5 stars. I'll never look at a jungle vines around my neck. I'm lactose intolerant now. So that happened.
God.
Our eyes will never see the gates of heaven. 1 star. Not a helpful guide. This book failed to teach me how to milk a cow, and now my family has no food
porn for the
winter.
plot. That has as much meaning as me saying, yeah, I watched High School DxD for the plot and not for the boobs. By the way, the plot being the boobs!
1 star. Accidentally ordered while on pain medication after an operation.
There's
Gave this to
plot.
my mom
It is the boobs, Iron! You have not noticed! He touches the boob and gets stronger! It is a metaphor for his penis!
Joke gift for Christmas. You what? Lesai. Why can't human males be more like this? Tall, rich, and handsome are no longer enough, boys. Now you have to be a 9-foot tall creature from...
Yeah, you gotta be hairy, have horns. Oh, I have an Insta fix for this situation. Everyone should just become a VTuber. No, please don't.
Greek mythology with a 13-inch dick. I never want to hear from another person about how they read 100 books in a year if this is the kind of slop they are consuming. Well, Ronald, man detected, this isn't for you. This is for women. So take your ass back to Barely Legal Babysitter 5 or whatever the f you watch that is so morally
Lady's
superior
gonna love me
than
with
this.
that
Let
logic.
him who is without sin cast the first stone, okay? God bless America. It's great to live in a country where I can casually enjoy cozy erotica about a young woman who milks her way to financial security and true love with a minotaur. This is what freedom looks like, and I intend to fully enjoy it before the Supreme Court takes this right away next. If this is what freedom looks like,
you shouldn't
I'm
have
really
it.
rethinking my stance on freedom, not gonna lie.
Yeah!
Maybe we should have less of it. All I know is if Donald Trump takes the monster porn, we are going to make 2020 look like a picnic, okay?
Please don't take the monster porn away.
Bulk.
It's like fucking Tumblr, bro. If we took Tumblr away and all the freaks came to the rest of the internet. If we take away the monster porn, nuclear exit of the world in less than a year. I'm telling you right now.
Fuck matters. Oh my
This is
God.
borderline zoophilia, indeed.
Edit that out.
No.
Women are gonna be picking up animal porn.
That fucking no is perfect.
Where's the horse cock? Some of you people owe a certain
God
streamer
damn it.
an apology because this book has
now we
way
have
too many 5
VTubers
stars.
everywhere.
Some of you are lying. So after buying this book, Amazon has given me a few interesting recommendations. Would you like to see them? I accidentally summoned a demon boyfriend. That time I got drunk and saved a demon. Gentling the beast. Cupcakes for my orc enemy. Mane of my existence. The gargoyle and the spinster. The widow and the orcs. Hoarded by the dragon. There's something about dragons.
But misogyny's the issue! All of them fantasizing about it! What the fuck? Yeah, no, we have...
Getting it on with gargoyles. Gotten
Fuck,
the
bro.
gator. Mated to the mountain bear. Oh,
What the fuck?
this is why they chose the bear. The billionaire orc.
Oh, fucking billionaire orc is so fucking good. Yeah. Without money, you ain't making it, brother. This barely disgusting monster fucking porn.
Sure. Wolves and whipped cream. The
The
wolf
movie
in
and the
my
zombie.
tavern. Pounded by produce. Oh, what? Are these the books the Nazis burned?
My husband only reads
I
finance
hope
and
so.
sci-fi books, and so I think it's about time that I introduce him to some real literature. So the first book that I would like to introduce you to is called Morning Glory Milking Farm. And
Fuck! No!
It's not a normal milking farm like with cows. What it is it's big, bulky minotaurs, and it's a special type of milking.
Yeah, we've seen this already with, what is her name again? Sydney Watson, I believe. Was it Sydney Watson that made a video on this already? I am not sure anymore, but it was fun. But I have no recollection of the fucking context of this book. Fuck, man. Unfortunately, her husband was found dead just a few days ago. He had a whole bunch of cow hair attached to him, glued with hot glue, and he was wearing a strap on and prop horns.
See, honey, she's
No, I never thought I'd advocate for book burning until today. You know, I always thought keeping a recollection of history was important until now. Delete that
stepsister, and she got stuck in the washing machine again. Women on TikTok are openly, proudly talking about the porn they consume and getting mad at people when they make fun of it. I hereby ban men from reacting to romantasy on TikTok. Best-selling romantasy books like A Court of Thorns and Roses and Fourth Wing contain descriptions of hot sex. I feel like that's common knowledge, if not their primary purposes. But in recent months, book talk has become full of men clutching their pearls while reacting to steamy scenes from these popular female-centered books. Obviously, this is all a massive performance. We live in the age of OnlyFans. The odds are that these men have seen actual porn that defies the laws of physics and God. Over 90% of men between the ages 16 and 73 watch porn in any random month. There's statistically no way all of these guys are shocked by the sex itself. What they are gawking at is sex from the perspective of female desire.
No! We're gawking at the fucking zoophilia here! And monster sex! Look! I'm a monster girl enjoyer like any other guy. Alright? But they still have human features, man! I'm kidding, by the way. But holy fuck, bro! Witch trials, we burned the animal smut writers. Some things are better left consigned to the dustbin of history. We gawking at the bull cocking!
Memes that depict women coming first and frequently.
Fuck,
and what they're surprised by is the women they know love these scenes. In one video, a guy declares, "Now I know why women enjoy book clubs and wine." But his astonishment in itself is astonishing. Like, what do you think adult women were into? Not having sex and drinking wine? Grow up. Imagine a group of men sitting around drinking wine, discussing the porn they watch. That is what you guys are essentially doing. It's just funny, okay? Like, it's funny. Are we really going to pretend that a story about a young woman getting a job milking mythical creatures to pay off her student debt is not funny? It's funny.
It
if that
is
makes
very
me
funny.
A sexist, misogynist, you got me. To act like you are so different and above the other gooners is just, it's silly. I'm sorry, but you are no different than Joe Schmo jorking it to fat booty Latinas in Space 12. You're sitting there all high and mighty, one hand on the book, acting like you're so superior because—
Porn discussion club. Can we make one for men exclusively? Be a poet, it's a bit more respectful. Well, no. You can be a rapper. Just don't misspell it, because you will pretty much become a— He didn't spell rapper without a P, did he? You know.
You can perfectly envision a horse cock spinning 360 degrees in your mind. I'm not impressed.
Fuck.
The scenes these men are reading, to many people, myself included, are insanely sexy. But purely in terms of the acts being described, they aren't all that lurid. And as many of the comments on these videos point out, there's much wilder stuff out there. For example, these men have clearly not yet discovered nodding, a popular term in romantasy right now that involves werewolves whose penises get so swollen after sex they have to stay inside their partners until the swelling subsides. Oh, Oh, honey, that's not a popular trend in romantasy. That's just a thing real dogs do. Oh, you just don't get it. You don't know what knotting is. What are these women reading, bro? What happened to that, like, stupid fucking corny Hallmark thing?
Oh, we're full on in Zophelia now! He said P. Diddy. Get it? Because P. Diddy is a rapper, like... this damn monkey
going home for Christmas to your hometown and falling in love with the cute farmer boy. What happened to that? We used to make fun of that. We truly did not know what we had until it was gone. Now women out here fantasizing about getting their asses clapped by demons and werewolves and goblins and ghouls. I remember when 50 Shades of Grey came out and people were like, oh my god, this is so crazy. Women are crazy. 50 Shades of Grey looks like missionary sex through a bedsheet for the sole purpose of procreation compared to the shit the average woman on TikTok is reading. At least Christian Grey was a human man and not a fucking dog. You fantasize about dating the quiet, shy, nerdy girl. You know, she's innocent, she's pure. She's not like those other girls, like going out clubbing and hooking up with random men. No, she's at home, curled up by the fire in a blanket, reading a book. Except that book is about half man, half wolf. Let me let you in on a little secret. The quiet, nerdy girl is way more of a freak than the average hoe. Are you kidding me? It's not even close. The average hoe might have a body count of like 15 or so, but the quiet, nerdy girl is fantasizing about getting back shots from Cthulhu. That is at least 100 bodies. Now listen, there's nothing inherently wrong with fantasizing, okay? There's nothing wrong with role play. You know, fiction is fiction, right? You know, you're not actually going to bang your stepsister, right? These women are not actually going to bang a cow. Or at least I hope not. We all know there's a difference between fantasy and reality. Well, what happens when they try to bring fantasy into reality? Well, you get Sinners and Stardust.
What the fuck?
What in the eyes wide shut is going on here? Sinners and Stardust was supposed to be a dark romance ball for romantasy authors and fans alike. So what's the big deal? Seems like a fun and sexy time, right? Maybe, if you're a woman. If you're a man, the night may have gone a little differently for you. Alright y'all, it appears I have to make a post that I'm frankly pretty goddamn upset I have to make. This post is for the readers who don't understand consent and boundaries only. A lot of you may know my good friend Animus. He's attended a signing of mine in the past and obviously is a musical artist. This past weekend he attended Sinners and Stardust and probably had one of the most heartbreaking experiences. So listen.
Just a second. Just a second. I need to get it, because P. Diddy is a rapper like me. Don't host any freak offs. I'll host Shrek off where we yell like monkeys. Freak offs. Oh, sounds good. I wish I didn't know that. What the fuck? Fiction is fiction until it's illegal anymore. Foreshadowing is a literal device, indeed immoral. Ew, they made a live-action Monsters Butt book. Oh,
he's a man, right? But do we think that means it's okay to put your hands all over him without consent? Or to put your hands in his waistband or down his pants or touch his dick? Hello? Do we think it's okay to quite literally back him into a corner and touch all over him to the point that he literally cannot tell how many hands are on him and whose are whose? Do we think it's okay to send him into an actual panic attack because of this? Furthermore, do we think it's okay to interrogate him and insist he detail how he'd kidnap a woman despite him repeatedly saying he wouldn't do that and you know that shit is fiction, and then attempt to follow him when he tries to get away? And if that wasn't enough, during the time of this mob, him and another author received notification that an AirTag was tracking him, which showed on his person all the way to his hotel room. They molested this guy until he passed out from anxiety, and then they put a f***ing tracker on him in order to stalk him back to his hotel. This poor guy dressed like a character in one of the romantasy books at this romantasy convention full of women. That is like throwing roast beef into a pit of wolves. Or in this case, throwing a wolf into a pit of roast beef. I remember years ago, there was this thing called cosplay is not consent. Basically, it was a campaign to bring attention to the fact that people at conventions would often come up to women dressed in sexy costumes and just grope and grab them without their consent. Yeah, apparently we have to bring that back, because these women did not get the memo. I've been a furry for over a decade and attended a lot of fur cons. Sure, sometimes weird shit happens, but honestly, I can't believe the dark romance crowd is out here acting like this. Like, me and my buddies in our fursuits are more respecting of consent and bodily autonomy. Get your shit together, y'all.
The fucking furries are more respectful. Damn, bro. They became the Me Too they sought to destroy. Did her husband freaking harass a freaking monster smug party? What the fuck, poor man. Holy shit.
Furries are calling you out for being freaks. You need to reflect. Something has gone horribly wrong. Not only were the men at this book talk convention assaulted, but women were also assaulted by women.
Wow.
Multiple women, including a performer, reported being assaulted there as well. Even an author there said she was groped and dragged away from her friends and said no matter how many times she said no, quote, my words did nothing. May I remind you, this is a book convention, okay? For books. Literal BDSM clubs are more respectful than this. There needs to be more
they still need consent. There's a big difference. They have safe words.
On how this stuff affects women's brains, because clearly some are unable to tell the difference between fantasy and reality. Ivy Lipton,
I was told in 2018 that I don't live in reality because I said cancel culture exists.
a doctoral candidate in human sexuality. Actual horror movie, indeed. Magazine. I don't know what a doctoral candidate in human sexuality is, but she's hot, so I trust her. Your brain on orgasms isn't neutral. Dopamine release during climax is a powerful conditioning agent. What you repeatedly fantasize about becomes necessary for arousal. If your erotic imagination centers around abuse, monstrous violence, and submission to non-human entities, your brain is reprogramming itself to crave just that.
Oh, that's why I like Fox Woman that much.
At its darkest. Scientists, psychologists, and the general public often state that men are visual and women are emotional. When it comes to sex, men can be turned on instantly by a sexual image.
Someone was screaming pineapple at that event. Kirsha?
Despite their mood,
Probably
and women
not.
need to be turned on emotionally.
This is why I like
so it stands to reason
big
that
titty
for
golf
men is
girls.
visual
Yes.
and for women is in the mind. I'm not equating porn to smut novels because one is a video of two people actually having real sex and the other is, well, just words on paper. I am, however, talking about the effect on the consumer. We know watching porn is bad for the brain. That's been proven and only rejected by gooners who don't want to give it up. But is reading smut bad? You might say, duh, that's the whole point. Okay, fair enough. So let me rephrase, is reading smut harmful? Should we shame people for things that are wrong, immoral, or harmful? In my line of work, I've been told many times that shame has no place in sex. But if I use my brain for 2 seconds, it's clear that line of thinking is nonsense. Incest should be shamed, bestiality should be shamed, pedophilia should be shamed. I'm not equating monster smut with these things, but there are 50 shades of gray, so to speak, along the spectrum of harmful. Conditioning your brain and body to associate pleasure with monsters, slavery, or sexual violence is not healthy. Basically, they're cooked. Like, women are cooked.
Yes.
They are frying their
Gooner
brains
barely
with this
know
stuff.
her.
It's a pipeline, right? It's like the infamous evil alt-right pipeline. You know, you start watching Shoe on Head, owning the feminists in 2015, and then in 2025, you're hailing Hitler, right? You know, the alt-right pipeline. And this one's like, you're reading Morning Glory Milking Farm, and the next thing you know, you're Mrs. Hands, right?
I too am drinking a Monster. However, I'm having the normal black, you know, vanilla-ass normal Monster.
Just say no. Just say no to monster porn. But why is monster smut so popular?
She said monster
with
porn,
women
not
in
monster
particular?
drink.
Like, you rarely see the opposite, and when you do, it's just like a girl with cat ears and fangs, or like a 10-foot tall dommy mommy vampire with giant titties. Meanwhile, women are like, I want to f the pollution monster from Fern.
What the fuck? There's a big fucking... Don't do that. I turned them on more. Why?
Gully. So people on Reddit asked this very question. Let's see the responses. Why do you guys like monster romances? Asking for a friend. Several reasons. 1, human men are quite often terrible. Romance books with human men are already partly fantasy, but Monsters just takes the fantasy bit further. 2, it's sort of human nature to imagine relationships with paranormal beings and creatures. We've been doing it in literature and art for centuries. It's just gotten a lot more graphic now, lol. 3, unique body forms / parts and so many different kinds of dicks. Scary, mean, terrifying creature is sweet to her, kind, takes care of her, protects her, works hard to be gentle, etc.
Wait, aren't you shaming men for exactly that reason? A man who is tough, stoic, and cold to everyone else but the woman he loves? Aren't you shaming men for being that? Isn't that exactly toxic masculinity? Giant vampire goth titty resident evil woman is my weakness. Smacks lips. Uh-huh.
Maximal escapism, minimal association to real-life assholes, the patriarchy, misogyny, and oppression of women, etc., etc. Because the monsters are less dangerous than dating actual men. As a fat woman of color, modern, contemporary, and even fantasy romances are hard to click to because they are almost always about thin white women and just too realistic, and romance in real life is not always attainable for fat women / women of color. In monster alien romance, though, my size doesn't matter, and it's easier to get into that headspace and enjoy it. I'm sick of the men on Earth and looking for some variety. Non-humans haven't betrayed and hurt me, so they feel like a safe haven, if that makes sense. Plus the unusual dick. Monsters have big, fun-shaped cocks. I love some bizarre peen. Unique genitalia. I don't know what I was expecting, honestly. A lot of the women smut, especially...
Wow, monastic life doesn't sound too bad.
Monster smut is about submission, domination, forced breeding.
Dog dare dudes who like a BB... wee black woman. What the fuck was that lady talking about? What the fuck is that? I don't want to know more.
Non-consensual consent. The women are like conquered and taken and overpowered by these monsters. And I think many of these women are reading these books containing monsters and not men because masculinity and dominance in men has been completely demonized in modern society. But the truth is, many women still crave it. You see, the monsters in these stories have those like dominant masculine traits that women like so much, but they're not human men. They have all these traits women desire without the problematic baggage human men bring, without being the men they hate or have been told to hate. It is the perfect guilt-free slop. But they don't just want a wild dominant man. They want to tame a wild dominant man. Similar to when a man sees an art hoe with a nose ring, you can save her from her daddy issues. You can do it. It definitely won't backfire and ruin your life. Go for it. Go talk to her. With many women, there's this desire for like danger and aggression, but also the desire to tame that danger and aggression. The desire to be that special woman who can melt his heart. You see, my dragon boyfriend could rip me to shreds and kill me instantly, but he won't because he's nice and he loves me. But honestly, at the end of the day, just like the video I made about the anime girl
deprogramming is going to take a long time.
In a wheelchair, where men were saying, this is the average male fantasy, and a bunch of women were like, you wanna rape a disabled girl? When in reality, it was just a distilled manifestation of the average male fantasy, which is to protect and provide for a sweet woman and save her. This is like basically the flip of that, right? This is just the distilled manifestation of the female fantasy. Men are seeing this and they're saying,
Bow the whale is more wholesome in her fucking sexual desires with furry creatures than this shit.
What do you mean you want to milk a minotaur? When in reality, it's just to have a big, strong protector and provider swoop you up and save you. And like I said in that video, they're basically both the same fantasy. This is a tale as old as time, the princess being saved from the dragon by a knight in shining armor, whether the dragon be a wheelchair or student loans, you know? But in this case, the woman is being f***ed by the dragon, and the knight sits in the corner and watches or something. Maybe it's not that deep. There are some hungers better starved than fed. And maybe as women, for the sake of society, we have to starve our hunger for minotaur penis. Yeah, that's the...
They won't.
That's the moral of this video. So what do you guys think?
Yeah.
What is your theory? Why is the monster romance genre so popular with women in particular? And who is your weirdest?
It's not
Hear
just
me
women.
Out. Be honest.
100% gay counterparts of these type books exist for men. Fuck.
It's not that he's a fish, okay? He has an energy, okay? He has a vibe. You know what? Never mind. And I will see you guys again really soon with a new video. Bye!
Why is she dressed as a cow? Oh god, it's a metaphor for minotaurs. No! Bro.
I love how the f***ing Bowl Man is a progressive, by the way. He's a feminist. He voted for Hillary. He would have voted for Obama 3 times if he could.
What the fuck? They really do bring politics everywhere, huh? Oh, that went up just now. God damn, you know why, Moomy? I do, but stop. Anyway, shoe ahead. This was a very cursed video. I don't like it. Leave her a like, maybe even a dislike this time. I did not need this information, to be completely honest. But yeah, check her out.